Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Hotseat. This one's called The Burning Realms, and we're doing a different sort of format from what you may be used to from Hotseat videos. Rather than recording in bulk and showing you multiple turns that are delayed throughout the thing, what we'd usually be doing is, say, you'd get one video with like 15 turns in it. And usually the Hotseat is already finished by the time it's uploaded to the channel. The reason behind this being I don't want my enemies to look at the videos and see all of my moves while the moves are being made. Basically not wanting my enemies to cheat. And if you're in the Hotseat watching this, you're a cheating little fucker and I will find you out. Fucking look at my eyes, you bastard. Anyway. For this Hotseat, I don't particularly care. We're doing very chilled, laid back, and trying out this new format, which will result in Hotseat videos coming out a lot quicker, hopefully. Basically, as soon as I play the turns, you will get the turns uploaded to the channel. Which again will mean that my enemies can view all of my turns, but we'll try to limit knowledge diplomacy-wise until the diplomacy is actually come out into the open. So I won't be telling you everything that I've been doing, diplomatically wise, because there's a lot of potential alliances hanging around the place in this Hotseat right now that I don't particularly want to talk about because some of my enemies may be listening. Hi guys, I've turned everyone against you and you're going to die. Ha 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 ha. Yes, moving on. So yeah, you get a more hands-on direct view of all the turns, and you can actually see the turns playing out as they happen. I will, of course, map out my plans in my head before we start recording, and I've already got my general idea for this Hotseat in mind. So, there's a one-turn piece, meaning I can't attack any of these guys, and Stark can't attack me on turn one. But, what I can do is block his ass in.
Building a bastion of defense.
So, that one there. 1, 2... 1, 2. That will connect with that fort there.
Yes, sire.
And if I do...
Fortifications.
we can do it from this side, actually. I believe. Let's find somebody, Crocol, somebody of decent loyalty. Yeah, you've got severe... Yeah, we'll use you. We'll probably have more than one general inside a fort anyway. But I need him here. The rules state there's only 3 forts in a region, so I can only have so many. 1, 2, 3. These 2 forts will be connected. And that's a straight line as well. If a force attacks in a straight line, they can only siege 2 points safely, so it makes the thing weaker. But now if we go like this... Oh, actually, we can test it if we...
I'd welcome a trial by arms to end this feud.
Yes.
I look forward to fighting you, noble enemy.
Yes.
There will be
yeah, there's no way. I'm just gonna have to place it there. Any other move will cause it to... Well, we can. I'll send both these guys over here.
Yes, sire. I'd welcome a
But if you do that, that cuts off all of the forces. But if I move backwards one, or... Yeah, if I move across... Actually, that works. Yeah, there you go. That works a lot better. It makes it so that that can't be... There you go. So, that fall all in position blocks off the movement points of all of them. They can't get through. So, we need to now garrison all of these.
Yes, noble sire. Hail my king.
I'll give you the basic idea of what this is going to look like.
We're leaving an honor, sire.
But, these won't be the actual troop numbers. I'll spend a lot more time getting these perfect to how I want in my head. I'm very picky about what troops go where and everything. We could spend hours doing that, but it's relatively boring to watch. So what we'll do is just give you the overall idea of what's going on, and then I'll reload back and show you. Alright guys, we skipped ahead a little with me spending like half an hour fixing up all of my stuff, and I fixed the farming thing, so I got those troops back into position. It's turn 1, so very little for me to show you, to be honest. Yeah, we've got this fort. Those guys there. This one's controlled by most of the guys. We've got all the generals in here. We have literally just enough to garrison these 4 forts. I have princesses in every single one of these forts. What princesses do, inside fortifications, they make it absolutely 100% impossible for the enemy to bribe a fort. the option does not even appear on their screen. So a princess inside a fort basically means that fort is unbribable. It's 100% safe and you don't have to worry about it at all. You don't even need generals inside a fort if it's got a princess in there because they can't bribe it. I begin rallying basically every single unit that I have. All these guys will move up north and immediately join up with Devon up Rouse. These guys are all imprisoned, unfortunately. I have to take Riverrun if I want to free these guys. Everywhere's recruiting spearmen. My fleet is being recruited in Lannisport as we speak. These guys will take ship on that and sail up there. I'm grabbing these militia units from Chaos as well. That'll be 2 of them out of there because I need 1 to garrison it. They're shit units, but they can replace the troops inside these forts. And then that will free up like 2 units to go over to here while the militia replace it, putting a more powerful force in this stack, if you get my drift. Because it doesn't matter, like I said before, what units are inside this fort, because I got a princess in there. I can put the shittest and most beaten up troops inside this fortification. And it won't matter because the princess means that the fort cannot be bribed in any manner whatsoever. You may be wondering why this fort is empty. Well, it's a 1-turn piece and I don't have the units to garrison this fort. But due to the 1-turn piece, and this being inside of my lands, if you hover over it, it's inside the Crag region. Stark cannot attack me, meaning he cannot take that fort. And that fort won't disappear because I've got the Westerling bitch inside the fort. But so, come next turn, that fort will still be there, and with the extra units that I'm recruiting, we can garrison that fort with anything. It doesn't really matter what goes in there. And then they'll be stuck inside that thing. Golden Tooth is fine. We put the bare minimum in there to keep some upkeep. That's why I got those guys in there. They cost more to do. I got troops inside this forest. See, this right here is where the enemy could view this video and realize that I've got troops hidden there and then kill me. Over in the Riverlands, I've blocked off Riverrun. I've blocked off the north of that. Stonehenge is under siege and will be taken, and then we'll spread out and take the rest of all of this. Stony Sept is ours. Harrenhal is beginning recruitment. I've got a fort here, which, if I use my diplomat to show you, blocks off this pass here. So you can't get past across here because Bolton is somewhere around this vicinity. So that'll take him like 1, 2, maybe 2 or 3 turns to attack this, which gives us enough time to take Stony Sept and siege some of these regions while still having a full stack able to repel Bolton, plus the troops that we're recruiting here, which will give more crap. Darry has some fort crossings as well. All we need to do next turn is place a fort here and place a fort here. Darry itself blocks off that one, while this fort will block off that one, and that fort will block off that one. And if Bolton pushes on that, what we can do is cut off salt pans and lay siege to that also. I've asked Joffrey to deal with Maidenpool for me to get rid of that threat. And we've sent the Tyrells a deal to marry Marjorie to Tommen also. And we have Sansa Stark imprisoned. This ship here, this ship will grab troops from Faircastle and it will move up north to grab the troops from Banefort so that they can be saved and used either to sail around and attack Seaguard and the surrounding area if it's weak enough, or to bolt back south and join up forces with Davon Lannister and everyone else around here. That's basically the end of turn 1. Very little's happening. Like I said, turn 1's generally boring, not much going on. And yeah, that is basically everything. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, the Riverlands are completely secured. I wouldn't worry about them. What would guarantee victory is if I can convince the Freys to betray Robb Stark. And in doing that, we can very easily just wipe them out. And then turn our attention to ridding the world of the Starks. The Arryns also would be a valuable ally if we can get them, but I'm really taking this hot seat rather chilled, to be honest, and letting the good King Joffrey deal with most of the diplomacy. But yeah, we're just testing out this format, see how it goes, see what it does, and see if my enemies suddenly know where all of my hidden shit is, and suddenly know what all of my diplomacy is when I talk about it. Because some of those things I was talking about with diplomacy-wise, some of them may or may not have already accepted, but I don't want you to know that, because I don't know who's watching. I have no idea where part 2 is going to be done. It depends on the speed of the hot seat. That is all for now. Thank you for watching. See you in part 2.